Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're here. It's going to be time for our fifth and final game of the day. Unicorns of Love and Kappa Team. I think two amazing team names overall. I got to say, I can't choose a favorite.
They both have really, really good names. And also the fact that it is the last game of the day, last game of the round of 10.
Yeah.
And then we'll move into the round of the 8 later on. So Unicorns of Love, they had the fastest game of the round of 20.
Yeah.
Whereas on the flip side, Team Kappa, or Kappa Team, had the longest game of the round of 20.
True.
Theirs was 54 minutes long, whereas Unicorns of Love had a 24-minute long game. So they stopped their opponents, whereas they had a really rough time for Kappa Team. They had to play against eScuba Intel, which is a Nordic East team. And so they ended up getting taken almost to an hour-long game. And they have a mid laner, Sharu, who's very familiar. He was the mid laner of MYM until they turned to Mouse Sports and Take Fun took over. But Sharu lately has not been putting up impressive numbers for the most part or having impressive performances.
Yeah, well, Kappa Team actually comes into me as a pretty big underdog. So I agree with you that Sharu, right, I think he was replaced on MYM for a reason. And of course, we saw Loveland Shore do a really good job. And Take Fun was awesome. So I think that roster swap worked. The problems that Kappa Team have, though, are pretty unfortunate. So their AD carry is brand new to the team. They were playing with a guy named Tuki, and he very recently deemed ineligible. And so they have a new guy named Horse, who's new to the team. They played exactly one game with him in ranked 5s yesterday, right before their actual match. And they won that game, to be fair. They won it. But he was new to the roster. Like, they'd played the entire season with a different guy. The other new guy, Hitoon, in the top lane, that was Jokies, and we just saw Jokies play about an hour ago. He did well. Hitoon is a support main. They have a support main playing top lane for them, and they actually tried out a couple of different guys. They actually were trying out a top laner, Diamond 150 LP top laner, about a week ago. Didn't want to use him. Instead, they grabbed this guy. And they're like, yeah, we played a couple games with you. We like you more. Join the roster. Let's go. And so they have two very recent additions to the roster, and they're going to hope to try to make it out now.
But those two most recent additions had the best performance yesterday.
True. Putting
up a KDA of 16 for Horse and also a KDA of 14 for Hitoon in the top lane. Yeah. Whereas the rest of his team put up pretty much 4s and 2.8s.
Yeah. So I mean, it worked out, right? Like, you've got a 3, 1, and 11 Renekton. The thing with Hitoon is I feel like he kind of only plays Renekton. So there's, I think there's a bit of a risk there where, you come new to a role. Like, if you play, as long as you play a lane, I think you understand laning in general. I think the hardest transition is jungle to lane. But if you're like support, you understand trading, you understand minion windows, you understand pushing and pulling and whatnot. But the champion pool is nothing you're going to know very well. Yeah. And so, like, he's played Renekton the most, but I feel like you play, like, Aurelia matchups, and you're like, well, I don't really know those. You play Ryze matchups, you don't really know those. Like, Renekton's like, yeah, land your stun combo and then get at, like, pretty straightforward champion. Like, I'm worried, because we saw just a little while ago when the Fiddlesticks main got banned out, had to play Master Yi. It's like, well, it was kind of easy to play around him. How easy is it to play around Hitoon?
Well, if they're going to ban him out, then it's very, very easy to play around him or play straight into him.
Yeah. Just like, go pick a Jax, crush the top lane, and have him carry the game. Like, just let Vizzy go and do crazy things.
Yeah. And, he plays that Jax, he plays that Aurelia, he plays that Trundle for Unicorns Love top laner.
Yeah.
Vizisashi. Yeah. One of those names. One of those names, Vizisashi, in the top lane there.
And he plays carry tops.
Yeah, he plays carry top laners up against somebody who doesn't really play top lane that often. Maybe 1 or 2 solo queues.
He's new to the role. He's spamming games, I'm sure.
Maybe he could transition like supports up there, like Lulu. Maybe bring a Karma top, Soraka top.
I mean, that'd be great if he did it. I think that's a good choice. Heck, like, to me, if you're going to make that decision, go for it. There was a time where I was like, man, when I play mid lane, I'm just going to play like Ezreal and Caitlyn mid every game. And then I stopped doing that and just played Ziggs a bunch. But like, it is a good way to kind of transition yourself into a role. If you have to perform now, play the champs and just put them there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah. And another matchup that I want to watch very closely is Power of Evil, the mid laner for Unicorns of Love, versus Kappa Team's mid laner, Sharu.
Yeah.
And we talked about Sharu hasn't been doing too hot lately, but on the inverse, Power of Evil has. He's a Season 3 challenger, and he's also newly in challenger here in Season 4. And they both played Syndra, so that's going to be a contested pick coming up here into Champion Select very, very shortly. But he also had a deathless game. He was going 4-0 and 8 for his team. And when I look at Unicorns of Love's composition that they used in the round of 20, it speaks to me that they understand synergy on a team fight, team pick level.
Okay.
Because they went Elise Morgana. Very, very high in the stun department, lockup department. Morgana with max cooldown reduction gets the binding to like 6.6 seconds with a 3-second duration. Cocoon is 6-second cooldown, 2-second duration. So you can literally bind, cocoon, bind for almost like 8 seconds of lockup.
Yeah.
And then if you throw in the Syndra that they picked in the mid on top of that, you can start that combo off with a ranged engage. You can lock somebody up and burst them out during the combo. Also, they had an Aurelia in the top lane. Wait,
you're right. Kappa Team is
Kappa Team. Kappa Team's the other.
Kappa Team is the Elise Morgana.
Kappa Team is
still Syndra though.
Yeah, exactly. Kappa Team is the team I've been talking about. They're the ones who have the synergy that speaks to me. Although their game was very long, they have team comp synergy. They just don't have the player synergy. So they know how to pick, but they don't know how to play it in a full mesh. Is the thing.
We'll see.
Like, it looks good on paper. It sounds really good. Because they had a Renekton top lane who can also stun. And then they had the Elise in the jungle. They had the Syndra. They had the Morgana. The Corki came up really big for them, too, going 8-1 and 8. And then Unicorns of Love. So now I'm actually going to talk about them this time. Their composition seemed a little bit all over the place here.
Okay.
So they had the Aurelia in the top lane. Then they had, like, he's just going to try to hyper carry. Then they had the Kha'Zix in the jungle, who's for the assassination potential. Then they had the Syndra for the lockup. But then their bottom lane was Jinx, Leona. So there's kind of just a whole bunch of what are we doing here? Just everybody play what they're good at was what seemed to be the strategy going into it. Whereas Kappa Team was like, let's play something that synergizes within itself. And that may cost them if they go for a team comp as opposed to what they're good at.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Snowball the game with individual plays if you can. Otherwise, it's going to be about, how well can you play as a team. And we're going to see if they can do it. Yasuo Twitch banned away from Kappa Team. By the way, that is, if you can see underneath the characters there on that blue pentagon, that is the Kappa face. Guys, if you know what to do about that. Just
I don't know.
We know what you want.
You're just like,
guys,
poke it.
The Kappa look.
Guys,
it's the Kappa look. I'm just forcing it really hard.
You're really...
I'm doing the reverse psychology thing. I'm going to make it so uncool that no one does it. This is the stream where Kappa dies. No, unlikely. Here we go. Cassidy and Jax with the bans away. I think smart choices there, Kappa Team, removing the individual playmakers of Unicorns of Love. Get rid of Jax, get rid of Cassidy, let Power Reveal play something else. Yasuo, Twitch, LeBlanc, though, so no top lane bans at all. The Cinder Hover, they both played it, but it is going to be insta-lock.
It's a contested pick there. Power of Evil has really good performances on that champion. He didn't die, and it is his go-to baby. Whereas they want to take it away from Saru because he played it previously. And if we look at the bans here, LeBlanc taking away Yasuo, Cassidy. Yasuo's #1 played. This pretty much leaves him with Ahri in the mid lane if he wanted to pick it up for himself. For Saru.
Yeah.
At least in his champion pool of top 5s that he's played in terms of common.
It's true. Also, Morgana's somewhere in there. I mean, the chance.
He plays a mid Morgana. That's true.
We'll see. I mean, we'll have to see what actually happens with their Lee Sin, though, does get grabbed up. Hitoon plays. Not so much of that, but Zayu, of course, the jungler does. I always got to wonder, like, again, Lee Sin's another one where I don't feel like you're going to know it unless you play a lot of Lee Sin, and that's not, to me, that's not a flex pick here as well. But there's the Aurelia grabbed up. Jax got banned, pick another melee carry. It's going to be Aurelia top lane, the Lucian as well for AD. So UOL picking comfort picks that are very strong individually.
Yeah, Kha'Zix banned out, so they're not going to be able to get their hands on that one. If they pick a Leona and then just a pretty standard jungler in terms of physical engage, then it's pretty much the same composition that they ran in the round of 20 where they're comfortable. They're just picking comfort picks at this point.
Yeah.
That's what I feel Unicorns of Love do. They're like, it's way too risky to go out and try to play something that's just a composition. Let's just play what we're good at and try to win the lanes. And it worked for them.
I think it's a baseline requirement.
Yeah.
Is if you don't know the champions, you won't get to the team fight phase. You might as well play something you're good at and then work from there. First 3 picks are going to be, individual comfort picks. Renekton does come through here for Hitoon. So Renekton versus Aurelia will be the top lane matchup. Lee Sin jungle for sure. Graves gets grabbed for Horse. See how well he does in that champion. There were, 180 carry ban, 1 picked up, so he goes to at least 3rd tier and grabs Graves.
So Thresh Leona is pretty much all I've seen from Hylissang. And they both are very telegraphed into Morgana.
Yeah,
they're both very easy to deal with her. So I'm not surprised that was picked up first. But going with the Thresh, so it's going to be able to, knowingly, going into that matchup.
Yeah.
So have to see how they treat that one. It's a very difficult matchup for Thresh. Morgana typically thrives in it if you're good at just throwing the black shield on the right person.
See if they can do it. Of course, the Nocturne does come through, identified, hey, let's get some physical engage. Also a very individualist team composition. This is another one that's very much single target focused. And like, great, Nocturne setup picks, whether it's Aurelia, whether it's Syndra, whether it's Thresh, there's all good targets there, good lanes to show up and just destroy someone.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love are once again going with what they're comfortable with, what they want.
This does feel more proper in terms of let's just get individual picks.
Yeah.
I think this makes a little bit more sense than their previous comment from yesterday. It's like we can pick up individual guys very easily in a straightforward manner.
Yeah, the Aurelia is a repeat, the Syndra is a repeat, Lucian instead of Jinx, and then Thresh instead of Leona. So they have a little bit more pick potential there.
Yeah.
And the Nocturne just sections somebody off and get them for themselves. And now still waiting on the mid laner here for Kappa Team. Cycling through a couple here for Char.
Yeah, I would like to see Mordekaiser. I mean, you follow the Polish counterparts there of Rokat, and you actually run Mordekaiser mid a couple of times to, I think, 1-1 is the record of Mord in the ULCS, but Nidalee there for the mid lane. It will be support Morgana after all. Sharu going to play towards the back line, going to play the poke if he can. I got to say, it's got to be hard to outplay Syndra in the lane. Thankfully, though, Exhaust recently got buffed in its range, so it should be a little bit easier to withstand Syndra burst by Exhaust when she ults.
Yeah, and they're going to run, it looks like just one Exhaust so far. You can swap it over on support, but
pretty much just Char, like only Char really needs it.
Yeah, so the top lane here between Aurelia and Renekton. Renekton will win that really hard early on. He will shove the wave. Aurelia only has single target abilities aside from her ultimate, which she won't have at that point.
Yeah.
And just try to keep up with Renekton. But he sustains, he wave clears and deals damage all at the same time. Whereas Aurelia, you kind of have to pick one of those to do. I mean, she can use Hiten style and try to harass you, but you really need a Trinity Force, a Blade of the Rune King before you can start doing anything to Renekton.
Sure. Yeah. And also
the fit for Hitoon.
I agree. Yeah. And here's one thing actually that I think always comes into attention then when you go into these heavy push lanes where you're going to shove in early on is when do the junglers show up? Because one is, do they start on the bottom side of the map so that they'll reach top side at the right time, around 3 minutes? And two, who's going to be faster? Because I feel like Renekton, let's see, it's Renekton Lee Sin on one side versus Aurelia Nocturne. Renekton Lee Sin is going to brawl better. They're 2-on-2, substantially better. The problem is, if Nocturne clears fast or gets to the top lane faster before Lee Sin, like Lee Sin doesn't show up, that's immediately now in the favor of Aurelia instead. The stun into the fear and it's going to be enough. When that matchup starts, I want to track the junglers and see if they can flip the matchup.
Yeah, I'm always a little interested in what Nocturnes are running in terms of rune pages, because I've seen the whole full attack speed, like 29% at level 1.
Yeah.
Just get as many Umbra Blades, clear the jungle as fast as possible, rune page.
Yeah.
Which would put him on par, or actually a little ahead of Lee Sin, I think, in the clear in the early game.
I think so.
Because Nocturne's clear is actually very, very good. And we see them just fanning out here. This is one of the first games of the day where we haven't seen an invade.
Well, there's always time.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, they got another minute to make up their minds. For what it's worth, actually, UOL pretty heavily camping on the left side of the screen. They've already defensively warded in front of their own red buff, so they'll be able to watch invades in the bottom side of the map. But that would depend on the route that Kappa team took.
Yeah, they also have their support and AD carry on that top left side of the map. So it might be a lane swap here coming out for them.
There's a good chance of that. At this point, yeah. They'd miss the minion spawn and be late to the lane. They're definitely looking for the 4-man top, which usually means an invade as well.
Yep.
Well, will KT be on the wrong side of this one? They do have the teleport for the Renekton, so we can get back to the correct side of the map, but Zayu's going to be in the wrong spot to start his jungle.
So Omnibrag. Oh. Get a touch on him later.
He can get hooked.
And there
Oh! He should have let him farther to the left, I think. But it does mean the jungle is owned, and Lee Sin's on the wrong side of the map. He's actually going to go... This is cheeky. He's going to try to steal the blue buff away, even though he could run into a 2v4, theoretically, if the team turns around in time.
Yeah, he's going to have to make his way out of there really sneakily, but I don't think they're going to sacrifice lane experience for the most part. Maybe Thresh will just be the only one to visit it. Actually, no, Aurelia's going too.
He hooks over the wall and realizes Zayu's there. He goes in for this one. It's level 2, though, but there's Vizzy. They're going in for the damage. Zayu does have a blue buff. He is level 2. Already burned the E. He's going to get out, but Nocturne's off on the wings. Does he have fear?
Nocturne has red, though.
Yeah,
so.
And if he has fear, that's some very real damage. He doesn't. It's Spell Shield. Big damage comes through, though. Zayu. Gonna Q over, jumps the wall. Nice play, gets the heal.
Ooh.
Nice stun comes in from Cinder.
Oh,
Sharu!
Sharu's low.
Wow, big damage.
Oh, off on the side. If Thresh doesn't see this,
oh, he didn't.
So
he recalled behind the wall.
Very, very tense. Level 1 and 2 coming out here. First 3 minutes of the game. Completely unconventional in terms of what people are rotating.
Sure, yeah.
We have the TP down to the bottom by Vizisash.
Vizisashi.
Vizisashi, there we go.
Just call him Vizzy.
Vizzy. But Mr. Vizzy, he teleported down to the bottom lane. And now Horsey has been down there the entire time. Sorry, Horsey has been down there the entire time. Just clearing the wave, getting his CS up. He's at 15 right now. And here's the thing, too, is they have their support in the top lane, which I think is great, because Hitoon is not used to being a top laner, and the worst thing in the world is to be new to the role and get 2v1'd as a top laner.
Hey, man, it's a duo support lane right now.
Yes.
They're both support players. This is awesome. But now who gets a CS? That's the question.
Support renekton. But here's the thing, is I want to touch on this earlier. Omnibrag didn't go for Doran Shield. He went straight for Ruby Crystal. Didn't even have the Spell Thief's Blade. He's not looking for the gold generation. He's looking for the early wards and vision control, which he's going to give up some gold, so naturally Unicorn's level will have some type of advantage there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Sightstone is technically, well, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
is the best GP10 in the game, but it just depends if you're actually going to use all those wards. So 2, it takes a bit of damage. That Black Shield was late. And that's not a good sign of good things for Morgana.
Now they get zoned.
Seeing Hylissang do the best he can for this one. Pushing him around. This is Sasha going to last it under his turret. Graves actually having a really good time in that matchup. Sharu getting pushed around by Power of Evil. You're seeing 29 to 16 minions there, of course, being forced back once already. Not exactly ideal for the man.
These top laners and mid laners.
Horse is destroying that lane, by the way.
Yeah, Horse is destroying it. You're absolutely right. Just a one-on-one, though. Most AD carries through levels 1 through 5 will just dumpster bruisers.
Yeah. Someone like Aurelia. Renekton would actually win. If you did like Renekton versus Jinx, it would be horrible. Oh, nice move right there. Black Shield was burned, so he goes in an Omnibrag. Some good damage coming through. Hylissang takes a puddle to the face, though.
Yeah. Now, Zayu making a visit mid, because Power of Evil is just pushing Sharu in so often. He's underneath the turret right now, and he's like, oh, I got a ball. I will throw this at you. Don't make me throw this. He does.
Does it anyway. Onto the turret as well. Hitoon very, very low. You're seeing this lane actually going quite well on top of that one. 36-25 versus, for it's worth, 18-42. So even though this lane looks brutal, and again, the Black Shield is late, forcing the flash from Hitoon. Huge damage coming through. If he'd ignited, that guy was dead.
Yeah, that's true, and he did have an Ignite in his back pocket there. Not deciding to whip that one out.
I gotta say, his hook accuracy, awesome.
Yeah.
He's landed so many so far in this one.
The Black Shield response.
Late, every time.
Late. Little delayed.
Well, Hitoon's going to TP back at the top, and it looks like he still wants this matchup because Horse is winning by more than Vardax is winning. So even though we've only watched this lane, trust me, the other side is worse.
Yeah.
And it's an okay matchup for KT to do that.
Vizisashi. Yeah, I think they're just going to go ahead and back. But now it looks like they're going to put the 2-on-1 bottom and put Renekton in the top by himself. They got him through those early levels. And here's the thing. If Lee Sin shows up to that Renekton lane and 2-on-2, Renekton Lee Sin will typically win that matchup. You know, Thresh can get Lucian out of there with a Lantern. But beyond that, it's actually a very, very poor matchup for the AD carry support.
Yeah. Well, here we go. It's going to go back to these same lanes. No turrets have gone down thanks to the power of the supports holding the lanes up. And now we're going to see it be a little bit different now. Real 2-on-1 lanes are here. And actually, look at this. Unicorns of Love, they're sending Aurelia to the top side. No, he turns around. Like, what? Vizzy just went back and forth in his base and was like, no, I'm actually going top. Okay. That was a weird conflicted call right there. And now he's going back over again.
Back.
I'm confused at this.
I think he's confused too.
Clearly.
He doesn't know what to do, so now he's running straight down there. He has his teleport available, but he's wasted a lot of time.
I don't think you want to burn your TP at this point in time.
Yeah. They're pushing. Okay. So a big minion wave is actually going to hit that turret very shortly, and Sheepy's going to be there to help defend. Maybe soak up a little experience and get himself level 6.
Well, We'll see what they can find. Sheepy, level 5, yep. And there we go, Vizashi, ooh, nice black shield, blocks the stun. And big damage on a Sheepy right there, puts him pretty low. He spell shields the buckshot, but
not the bite.
loses a lot of his health, yeah.
And that was not the response that Unicorns of Love needed to that large minion wave.
No.
And now we see Lee Sin in the top lane. He knows it's safe. He knows it's a 2-on-2, not a 2-on-3. Level 6 here for Vardogs.
Yeah. Now it's going to be the hook not going to land that one. No, Juke doesn't go the correct direction for him. Lucian definitely going to be a scary man right here, and as long as they can outplay the Lee Sin Renekton, they'll be okay. So you guys got to watch out for just a little bit there. Horse still pushing in with Omnibrag, who does have the Sightstone already done. Still no GP10 on the Morgana, but that's okay.
And there's that trading that you were talking about earlier where it's like, I'm going to take 100 of your HP for about 18 gold.
Yep.
15 gold, letting you get it.
Yeah. It's about an equal trade.
The fact that it's a Renekton, he does have the sustain, so he does come out a little bit on top with those trades. It's not actually worth as much, which still put him back a little bit for tiny duration. Oh,
Morgana hit you in big damage comes through. Flay is going to knock him back. One more attack. That's first blood. Vardogs claims it. Great play by Hilo-san.
And Hitun just hit 6 and leveled up his dominance, but wasn't able to pop it.
Ouch.
It would have given him the extra HP he needed to survive that.
It would have been. You're absolutely right, but didn't quite get that one through. So there we go. The turret now under fire even more. This duo lane has done very well against their unconventional opponents. They've abused the fact they're fighting melees. They didn't flinch about any of this. KT, though, they are going to get this bottom lane turret, though. And now how good's their push going to be?
Yeah, the Kappa team push here, they're winning in CS. But Unicorns of Love, they're working that mid lane. That's their boon right now. That Power of Evil is destroying Xaru.
30 CS. He's got a 50% lead in this lane, which is massive.
Xaru also has no more mana left, so he's in kill potential range right now.
Also, look at the build. Xaru went for an early tier. I don't know if it's because he got forced back too early, but didn't go Chalice. He has no MR, not really any good regen. He's in for a pretty late game build if he starts tier.
Especially as Italy.
Yeah.
He's waiting a long time on that one.
That's definitely unconventional. We'll see if it pays off for him right now, though. He's definitely behind. Definitely getting poked at. You're seeing this kind of damage. One more Q and he could ult him.
Yeesh. And now he's going to have to forfeit his own blue. Because he's been pushed out so far by Power of Evil. And the fact that Sheepy is right on top of this. He's got the timer. He knows at least Sin's top. He's like, oh, there's an objective for me here. I'm going to take it.
Absolutely great stuff by Unicorns of Love. Their individual play is working out for them. They're only up 1 kill, but they're up 2,000 gold. This is the CS lead they've been getting. Nice blue one picked up there. Power of Evil refreshing his, because he already got one on his own side of the map. But this game is right now being owned by UOL. Even though the CS numbers aren't crazy, like 80 carries, 91 to 97, top laners 60 to 50 is not that bad. But the mid lane is winning by so much that it's opened up the game for them.
Someone's got twice the CS. He's at 102 at 10 minutes.
It's very good.
It's really good. And the fact they just picked up a dragon for themselves and the mid turret off of just Power of Evil's performance alone is incredible.
That's the power of Evil.
There's the exhaust. He got the exhaust before his ultimate was even popped. He still has his ignite. Xaru blew that just out of pure fear for the Power of Evil.
It's true. I'd be afraid of it too, dude. It's a scary name.
It is. We talked about it earlier. He had a 4-0-8 Syndra game in the round of 20. He's probably looking for a repeat performance here.
Still at 0 deaths.
Yeah. Just inflate that KDA more.
Absolutely. No matter what he does, it'll at least stay the same if he doesn't die. Hilo-san takes a bit of damage, but honestly, the lane is just, it feels more powerful here for UOL. You're seeing the damage come through. They're just trading blows back and forth. I do want to see if this matchup explodes off of one more hook or something, or one more Dark Binding. Tier 1 GP10 picked up now for Omnibrag. He's got the coin here on Morgana, interestingly enough. So not going for the Spell Thief's vamp. Ooh, this is some good damage on a Xaru. Lands a W. No, I'm not going to keep going.
And he picked up a Fiendish Codex afterwards on his next back. So he's completely neglecting magic resistance.
Here we go, though. The dive in from Sheep. He's going to look for something to Vizashi. Got rid of too many minions, actually. Couldn't jump in, but they still go for Hitun. He's going to flash away. Big damage comes through. Will they have enough? The ulti's been used, but that's going to be enough damage. Their ulti comes in. Ashara misses the knockback, though. Takes a javelin. Nice play by Zayu. Gets the kill back for the team.
Nice. So the fact the Power of Love had already taken the turret and could push up further, they exploited that. And they knew he wanted the kill there. on Sharu. Sharu was able to heal himself with Primal Surge and just bait it out, and there was Zayu right on the side.
And that was very well played with these guys, but it does mean outer turret goes down. Omnibrak once again takes a hook to the base, has to back out. I feel like Hylissang is doing so much for his team. We're going to see more kills come out of this lane. Even though it doesn't, like the scoreboard doesn't show that, but just everything I see just feels like Hylissang is playing phenomenally well.
I think Power of Evil is playing phenomenally well.
I would agree. But he is 0-1-0 right there. The Ignite comes through. Hylissang's going to be going down. Nice pickup right there. Horse bursts them out. Vardox, he's close in. Nice summoner he'll use right that one. Dodges the... Ooh, has to get away from Morgana's going to land the stun. But there comes Aurelia in from the side. There comes a Tune as well. But enough damage for Lucian. Maybe not quite enough. Now Aurelia is not in exactly the best spot. Has to jump away to a minion. Lee Sin showing up for this one. Dark Binding not quite going to land. But Vardox does not have the mana to help. Zayu again salvages a lane. Picks up a second kill.
He's going to go for it.
Third. Kicks. Nearly killed the Lucian with that one. He will get away.
Sheepy instead. And Power of Evil wants nothing to do with that fight. You know, he's very healthy, but he still decides to just back off. And now there's a Blasting Wand in the inventory for Sharu. He's just rushing Archangels?
It's weird because he's got the Codex. Like, the only item that this builds into right now is Promote.
Banner of Command.
Yes. Like, he has the components of Banner of Command. I don't think he's building that.
I hope he does.
It doesn't make Morellonomicon. This doesn't make Athenes. It doesn't make Deathfire Grasp.
If he goes for a Banner of Command, and then he...
I believe it makes the Spell Vamp item. No, it doesn't, because he needs the never mind, he needs the gun.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was like, wait, no, there's another one.
Two books make a gun. Stay in school, kids.
Yep, 2 books makes a gun.
Oh, but yeah, if he gets Banner of Command, you know, there is a little bit of a gimmick here. You can promote a minion, and then you can Primal Surge it.
That's true.
You can give it more attack speed under a turret. That would be the pushing power of
I still think it's unlikely. We'll see what he goes for. I think, actually, you could be really accurate the fact that it might be the early Athenes or Archangels Rush. And you just want CDR to have CDR. But we'll have to wait to see what happens. He could go he could be Morellonomicon Archangels. That's the original build when you're fighting in an AD mid laner. You might get like an arm guard there as well. But like, if he just wants pure damage, that's the build.
Yeah.
If he's going to play far enough back that he's not getting caught, he doesn't need the MR. That's the build.
I'm really surprised about the lack of an early Chalice. That's probably the biggest thing here that stood out to me with Sharu's build. I mean, I want to see if it pays off for him, because he hasn't died, and he did get a kill on Power of Evil by baiting him. And right now, Power of Evil is going to push this wave.
Well, here we go. Good dodge. Dodges both of them. Nice play. Good job, Power of Evil. One thing I do want to point out, actually, because so Zayu's been really good right now. I'm very impressed by his play. He seems all over the place. He's making kills happen. Sharu does have exhaust. Yeah. He can't get poked out because he's in Italy. That won't happen unless he ooms, which is unlikely. He's got a blue buff. He's going to be fine. He can't get all in because he has exhaust. If he's building Squishy on purpose to bait Power of Evil and just get counter ganks, that's like a legit,
that's so bold.
Like, meta, I'm going to outplay you with my item build because you're going to get counter ganks.
That's metaing the meta.
Yeah, kind of.
He's metagaming. That's kind of like...
It's actually the actual like term of metagaming. Here we go, going to jump into this one. The knockback onto Bizasashi, but the burst comes in. Zayu goes down. The 2-on-2 working very well for the Nocturne team right there. The flash, the jump in, the slow is there. Hatun getting just crushed right now. Has got nowhere to go. And the kill is picked up. 2-1-2 now on Aurelia.
The Bilgewater Cutlass coming up big there. Dragon is up in 20 seconds with a 22-second on Hatun now, who's 0-3 and 30 CS behind the Aurelia, who will get to the point where he can duel him very, very quickly. Renekton's missed his power spikes.
He's already there.
Yeah,
like, this is...
Missed his power spikes.
That one hurt. That was one... Was that one Javelin? Half HP through an Athenes?
I don't know.
That can't be.
No, that had to be 2.
He had to have been hit before. Either way, bottom lane tier 2 turret going to be going down. This, I like. Unicorns of Love are getting the turrets off those ganks. They're pushing in with the entire group. Heck, their bot lane showed up there to push faster. Like, these guys are playing it right. They're showing up for the turrets. They're getting farther and farther ahead. 5,000 gold now. Will they react in time to the Kappa team's push in the top lane? Looks like not.
And there's the dragon that's going to be picked up for them. See if they can contest it, though. They found Hatun. Whew.
That's painful.
And the spears. The javelins. There you go.
There you go. Technically the javelins. Just saying.
Yep.
Nobody else says it.
Javelin toss.
Javelin toss goes in. Hook nearly lands right there. Lee Sin, he's got the Q.
Oh, got it.
Spike gets picked up. Zayu plays awesome, gets killed, but worth it.
Yeah, at that point, it's worth it, especially since your top lane / duo lane has been pushing this entire time. They secured a turret for themselves as well, and now it's 4K gold difference, 3.5 between these two teams.
Good spell shield right there by Omnibrad. Keeps himself safe from the stun. Graves actually did save quick draw the whole time. It was up, didn't want to use it, wanted it for the escape power. Got away from center, but that inhib turret is low. It does regenerate, but if the team shows back up soon, they'll get that one knocked down. It's down to about 1/3. Sheepy tries to own the jungle, though, smites away, goes to steal. Oh! Nearly gets it stolen, but takes that one away. More jungle stolen away from Kappa Team.
I want Sharu to back so badly to see what he buys. Just like, what is it going to be?
Morella Namak, no. Banner of Command and Manamune.
You're on the Banner of Command train now, huh?
Yes.
Or was that sarcasm? Because I don't think he's going to buy Manamune.
I don't think so either. Going to be okay.
So you think the chance of him buying a Manamune are the same of him buying Banner of Command?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Really? Okay. Okay.
To be fair, Javelins are single target spells would trigger the mana burn on that item.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So does Syndra ulti, by the way.
Does it trigger on each
or
ball?
It used to. It used to. I don't know if it still does, but on release it did. So you could do Manamune Syndra. So once it became Muramana, you would get like actually very high damage ultis with it.
So I guess it's just a death cap. He's a kitty with a hat.
Okay. So death cap's a good build. So yeah, again.
Yeah, no, it's a really good build.
It's the high damage build. He's got some CDR. It's just all the Codex is for. I mean, Codex tier is half the AP, half the CDR, but much less cost than Athene's. And he gets to go into death cap. So yeah, we'll see if it plays out well. But
and he avoided the burst of Syndra for a very long time.
He has not died in lane with no bonus MR in his items at all. He's got summon masteries. He's got 54 MR right now in his masteries.
94 for masteries. Give me that page.
Yeah, seriously. Hylissang not in the best spot right there. Nocturne ulti comes in. What will they go for? Flay's going to miss. Hylissang very low on health. Does almost get bursted out, but dodges the way. The kill goes down onto Lee Sin. No, Omnibrad in a bad spot. Jumped in, killed. Double kill for Aurelia. Graves fires back for one. Looks for Sheepy. One more tap, but gets feared too soon. Sheepy stays. He dies for it, knowing he had nowhere to go. Makes that a 2-for-2 battle.
Yeah, both junglers, both supports down. And I don't know if anybody can get anything off of this.
3v3, probably not.
Pretty much just backing up. No dragon available. And the way that team fight went was just sectioning off. They pretty much just had 3 skirmishes going on at once. And I loved the Nocturne ulti from Sheepy. Just section them off. Like, watch this. Flashes away, and now Horsey no longer has vision of it. And that causes Zayu to overextend into people he cannot see. Visasashi goes over the wall to pick up the kill for himself, and Horsey, duration on the fear is up now, and then he just regens himself back up against the drain tanking Nocturne, who has the Feral Flare and the Blade of the Ruined King.
Yep, still managed to burn through it. So, you know, we said the replacement AD carry, Horsey, he did really well for his team the first time. 8-1-8 on Corki. This time, 2-1-1 on Graves. 3/5 of the team's kills have been at least assisted by him, if not taken outright. Char once again going to get his own blue buff. Looks like Unicorns of Love no longer really owning the jungle. I'm surprised they haven't held the blue buff down considering how hard they won mid lane. But Char has gotten the last 2 blue buffs for himself.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We have the DFG coming out here for Power of Evil, so maybe he'll try to win it a little harder. And also the fact that they gave up that early kill because Zayu was just all over the place. He knew that mid lane was where he wanted to camp. And now, I think Visasashi is going to start running away with this game, especially since he's almost got that Randuin's. He has the Trinity Force. Renekton 0-3. Hitun is not having a good game at all. It's just a horrible game for him across the board. His Renekton, not only is he Renekton and he falls off in the mid-late game, but he's Renekton and he's been shut down in the early game.
And I mean, think about his situation too. The guy's in a random 2-on-2 lane with supports on both sides.
It's really hard.
Like, you might practice some solo queue. Goodbye, Omnibrad, by the way. You're dead. I mean, like, you might practice some top lane solo queue and be like, yeah, okay, I can like fight an Aurelia. I've like fought, you know, a Lee Sin before. I fought a Ryze before. Okay, I feel okay about 1v1s. Here's a matchup you've never played before. In a champion you're still a little bit uncomfortable with. Like,
you have to learn the trades for minions at that point. You also have to learn when it's worth it to go up or when to let the CS go.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the times people who are new to 2v1s or 2v2s,
Oh yeah,
as a top laner, you will sacrifice too much HP for a minion.
Yep, he died for it.
A lot of the time, it's okay to give up the turret. Sometimes it's really okay. You'll be like, okay, I can freeze the second wave. That's fine. Now it's deeper in my territory. We have jungle pressure. We can come from behind.
Yeah.
They have to give up this position.
Yeah. There's actually an interesting anecdote. It's actually how you play poker, is when you lose, because you're going to lose sometimes, you lose as little as possible. It's minimize your losses. Sometimes that turret's going down. And minimize your losses and don't go down with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the play. It's like, you're not going to get that CS. Don't also take damage and lose that CS. Like that's the play sometimes. You've got to be able to realize that's a hard lesson to learn a lot of the time, but that's what it is. Minimize losses when you know you've got losses.
Yeah, just stay in experience range.
Yeah.
You won't get the gold, that's fine, but at least stay up in levels. And the fact that he did die under the turret without popping Dominus the first time was unfortunate.
That was rough.
And now Dragon up in 4 seconds here. The middle turret's pretty much just that tier 1 left for Unicorns of Love. And now the control is being laid down. The Law, Unicorns of Love, making it happen. But there's the poke, and that is the saving grace here for KT.
There we go. They're going to push it in. The Dragon's going to be going down, and it's not going to get stolen this time around. Xayou didn't get his way in. 2, 3, and 1 on that Lee Sin. Gets caught out a little bit. Puts the jump over the wall. Gets a ward from his teammate, but Flash is just the same. This is going to be the kill on these wards, and Unicorns of Love get away. They positioned successfully. Got the Dragon. Got out.
Just another advantage grabbed for them very, very swiftly, very quickly. And now it's like we got to ward up the other half of the jungle. And Unicorns of Love, I want to pay attention to their warding in these next couple moments. So they have all the outer turrets gone. They are going to start contesting blue buffs, red buffs, taking Wraith camps, just owning the jungle and owning people too. As much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
So if they can start to put pressure on that tier 2 top turret, and they do have a teleport, and the fact that teleport is on their most fed member currently, they can do a 1-3-1 even with Syndra. They could do a 4-1 split push with Vizisashi, and most likely come out on top. Like, it would take a lot of outplay by Kappa Team, or a big mistake by Unicorns of Love if they pulled that strategy off.
I agree. I want to see it happen. We're going to see where they go. The recalls came through for Unicorns of Love after that Dragon, after the fight. It's going to be Athene's plus Deathfire Grasp for Power of Evil, going towards a Death Cap next, most likely. But he's got a big ability power core. Trinity Force Bloodthirster done for their AD carries. He's hit a power spike. Randuin's now done for Vizisashi. So I got to say, and even just the Giant's Belt for Sheepy's enough to make him survive a team fight. So, and Teleport Ascension. Like, all these big items all got completed right now. UOL is in a really good spot at this exact second.
Yeah, and the fact that Kappa Team, Tune, doesn't have any type of damage item. He's going the full Renekton tank build. No need to clear, but oh wow.
Oh, Hylissang takes a bunch of damage, puts the box down, flashes, but still goes down. 1 for 1, the AD carry follows on that one. Omniback puts the ulti down, gets some good damage, flashes away, but Vardog's still trying to get this one down. He's 1 more hit to go, does pick up that kill, 2 for 1 so far. And the team now of Kappa forced to run away, stun, gonna land onto Xayou. No one else is there for that one. The 1 for 2, Sharu. Looks like he's not going to land too many more javelins. Now the mid lane and Hiptro under fire. Good stun in from Vizisashi. Big damage through the stun. Lands from Syndra. Makes that 3 for 1 plus inhibitor.
So he has the Archangel staff, but it's not helping him out so far. And the fact that they were able to reach him there was just very unfortunate. They were able to set that up because look at all the wards that they have covering that left side. And they wanted to put one in this bush and wrestle the control back, but they're just so far ahead. The loss of their support, they were ready to pounce, and they go straight for Horsey, pick him up with Sheepy, and Omnibrag, he gets picked up here by the extra movement speed. And look at that. Just the ward controller, the pink ward in that bush, so that they cannot have that happen to them again.
And there's one in Baron Pit as well. In fact, Unicorns of Love own the entire route all the way from the edge of the base toward the Baron Pit, and they can keep making picks there. Xayou now also going to get picked off, jumps over to the ward. Nice kick back, knocks up 1. He is going to get away from that one, but you're going to see Unicorns of Love very much playing this advantage properly.
I like it. I like it a lot that they're doing this. They got the middle inhibitor, and then they just put wards up there so they can still track the movement of people who are going to go clear super minions, see who's coming up the lane. And the way that their wards are positioned right now, they could make a move for Baron, or they can make a move for top tier 2 turret very, very easily.
Yeah, top tier 2 is like theirs when they look at it wrong. Like there's almost no way that gets defended properly, but Right now, it's UOL saying, okay, we've got to take this breather again. We've got to back off that team fight win, off that turret going down. Let's buy up one more time, and they're just going to go for it again. They're okay replacing the wards and putting them back down. They've only got one sight stone, so they're buying the rest of them. I'm like, it's fine. It's okay. We'll take our time with that one. Ooh, buy up, try again. Big damage. Ulti with DFG comes across, flashes the wall. Stay safe without exhaust.
Late on the DFG. If that had been at the start of the combo, it most likely would have killed him.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the Seraphs was still available, though. I think Sharo knew he would survive the burst.
That's true. He still had the Seraphs and Brave.
There's no magic pen. That's a big part, actually. Power People still no Sork Shoes, and there's no death cap either, so he's just like 250 AP, no magic pen is actually not that scary.
The fact that he would amplify the damage, though. And
yeah.
I think he's waiting because there isn't a huge amount of magic resistance on the enemy team.
That's even better for Sork Shoes.
Oh, well, Sork Shoes, yes, but Void Staff, man.
It's fine.
Like, he'll get that later. He'll probably pick up a death cap and then maybe a Zhonya's. I don't know how much threat there is on him yet.
Zhonya's could be worthwhile.
Maybe later, but if you're playing Syndra that way, you're pretty much trying to burst somebody and then not die.
I tend to agree.
And then bait, and you're just like, oh, I'm golden.
Well, here's the attempt for the top turret, though, and again, woof! Bardog's down below half HP, but again, that team is so powerful, you just can't easily defend a tier 2 who's positioned properly.
Yep.
It goes down right away. 8,000 gold lead right now. Sheepy takes a javelin. That was kind of a bit of corner cutting there. There wasn't a ton of ward coverage, and they just kind of went for that rotation.
Yeah, their wards are expiring at this time. And the fact that they had all those up and they went for that tier 2, just right on the money. Exactly what they were doing. They were thinking ahead by about 2 minutes when they put the wards down. They're like, this is where we are going to be in 2 minutes. And now, Dragon up in 30 seconds, they all back now to go make a move on it as soon as they're up. There's no way that Kappa team is able to contest that and pick it up without Sharu getting a lot of poke on the right people.
Absolutely. One thing that concerns me a little bit, though, is that UOL are recalling this much. It gives a lot of time for Kappa team to recover, put wards back down. Like, now look at the top jungle. 3 minutes ago, those wards were all blue. Now they're all red.
Yeah, here's the
now,
thing,
to be fair, tier 2 turret's gone, so that area doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, is that Unicorns Love, if they're smart, they will recognize that. They'll get the dragon, and then they will go bottom, push that up, and then go middle when the inhibitor's back up, get it, then go back down to bottom. Because if you use all your wards in this area, you're not going to have them available for that bottom.
True. Well, mid inhibitor dead. You're going to see minions trying to push in down the mid lane. We'll see if that's something that UOL can use easily. But they're looking to push up the bottom, and as you suggested,
they're smart.
That's where they're going. Now, mid inhib is back up, so there's no super minions creating pressure anymore. It's just regular waves. So this is a default siege from UOL. They've got to be afraid of those javelins. The Q right there from Lee Sin. Again, losing a lot of health there from those javelins. Sharu, he's getting the damage, I'm not going to lie.
He's the one person that's going to help him out of this little pickle here. That pink ward is really well placed. It's far back out of the range that you can hit it over the wall, but they can still clear wards.
Zayu gets stunned up, takes some damage, chugs a potion to keep himself in a decent spot. Another ward goes over the wall. Sweeper used to get rid of that, though. Once again, javelins coming out, but of course there is no healing on the UOL team. No teammate healings. Bardog's, again, down to half HP. He's got to lifesteal with a Bloodthirster off of maybe this Wraith camp. Get his health back up. You can see UOL put a ward down as they retreat. They don't want to get stabbed out as they go for this. Bardog's back above half HP. Look at this, KT, whenever the team leaves, they identify that, and they try to get control back over. They push down the mid lane, look for a pick right here, maybe on Visasashi or something, but here comes the re-engage, knockback on the team. There comes Nocturne all the way back towards Sharu, has to flash away, exhaust used to pull him off, and there's a bunch of damage coming through. KT does run away.
There it is.
A nice stun from Syndra, finds like all of them. 1 kill picked up. Kappa team still forced to run away. Zayu with a nice Q, gonna back out.
And now they have the inside route to the inhibitor over KT. They can run straight up to it or go for a Baron.
And they're probably going to get the Baron right there. They identify the team had to recall to hold the mid lane, immediately run towards Baron, use sweepers, but this will be hard to contest.
Still super risky here. See, Lee Sin is back at the base, but here's Renekton. He teleported in. Power of Evil still very low. This could be KT's fight.
Well, if they can show up in time, it is going to be a 4v5. The Javelin hits Baron, which means it's going to go down even faster. They do have the smite available to get it. There's Baron picked up. Javelin gonna land for even more damage. UOL are gonna have to run away from this one.
What? Javelin's coming into the side. Ooh, if that was Power of Evil, that would have been a death.
That absolutely would have been. So he's gonna be forced away on this one. But UOL, they got a kill, they got a Baron, and they got back to base safely. Again, it's an advantage for these guys.
Yeah, and now they need to, once again, push up the mid lane and bottom lane, or a side lane. It doesn't matter at this point because the ward coverage. Get ward coverage back for themselves, and then continue these pushes. They have the advantage. They have 11k gold. They just purchased everything they possibly could with their gold, and now they have those temporary combat stats to help themselves close the game out. You saw there that Sheepy went straight for Sharu in the back line. Didn't go for Horsey this time. Decided that we need to get the Nidalee out of the fight. Don't know if it was the right move, because she's very, very slippery and she gets away very easily.
Made him burn the exhaust.
But he did make him burn the exhaust, absolutely right. And Power of Evil threw down his ultimate, which put a ton of balls out, so that when he used his Scatter of the Weak, he stunned everybody.
He did.
It was a great, great, great little E there. Helped set them up for that kill that they eventually wrestled out.
Also, Unicorns of Love now, they are going to siege the mid lane. They've got Baron buff for 2.5 minutes. They've got 5 men strong. Death cap is done, and as you identify, he is going Zhonya's next. Still no Magic Pen. I don't love that, but it's okay. He's going to be more durable this way. Has a plenty of AP to kill off minions. Vizisashi will split push down to the bottom lane.
Guardian Angel completed for himself. Aurelia, huge power spike. We have not seen a Blade of the Ruined King today on an Aurelia.
Yeah, I tend to more see a build like this.
Build. Yeah.
It's Triforce into tanky is the build I see more often. Zephyr was a bit surprising to me as well. But
it's an expensive build to go for the Blade of the Ruined King. You have some delayed power there.
Yeah, you have no like Jax has durability in his kit.
Yes.
Aurelia doesn't really do that. So gonna buy the tank stats for that one. Power of Evil looks for the stun. Gonna be a hook on Azayu though. Big damage comes in. Javelin does not land. That's a half HP Lee Sin, meaning a control over the inhibitor is here. Vizisashi already pushing the bottom of the team. Exactly, they just move right on over Hittoon, forced to run away 5v5, but it does not even matter. Javelin's only hit minions. Another turret goes down. Stun onto the Renekton, who's going to dive in now as Aurelia looks for the stun onto Horsey. Grabs the Mikhail's Crucible. He's going to back away. Javelin hits onto now Aurelia. It's going to be the inhib going down, making that 2 inhibs picked up. Once again, will they re-engage? Javelin lands. Team's going to back up.
And Hylissang pretty low. The stun lands. Is it going to be a finish? Ooh. DFG, no follow-up ultimate.
Yeah, he jumped away before he could pop the ult or anything. So, Lee Sin gets away, burns a 1-minute cooldown, but that's fine. Top lane starting to accumulate. UOL could easily push over there and get more done.
Yeah, although Hylissang is pretty low, they have the Baron buff regen. They could just push this up. They have a monster wave coming up to back them. And now the hook over the wall. Onto Sharu. Is he going to take it? Just the... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say just the poke, but that is the poke.
That is a person with no armor items taking shots from Lucian right there.
Shots fired.
Exactly, made it happen. There we go. KT losing health now, trying to defend the inhibitor. This is kind of their last chance to fight. They're going to go in. Omniback takes big damage. Nocturne comes across. Zayu gets locked up and just takes a whole bunch of pain. He's going to go down 2 for 0 so far. Sheepy gets away, and now the turret is under fire. Looks like turret's going to hit Power of Evil. Hylissang's going to tank up the Javelin. Going to be the last inhibitor turret is down. 5 versus 3. Hook lands on Sharu. That's going to be the kill picked up in record time. 3 inhibs fall, and that's a minion wave coming in from the mid lane.
And you identified it at the start of the game that Hylissang is on point with his hooks.
Yeah.
All game long. He just landed 4 pretty much back to back there, missing 1 in between all of them.
It's going to be Nexus turret number 2 now falling as well. A 10-kill lead, a 16,000 gold lead. It's going to be Unicorns of Love as our 5th and final champion of the day.
You're absolutely right. Today is the day that Kappa dies. This Kappa team goes home. Actually, they stay home. Yep. They're already sitting there in their chairs.
Yeah.
But Unicorns of Love, they're actually going to trot on forward.
They're going to trot on forward. Their horns are shiny. And the Kappa emote no longer works on Twitch chat. It's official.
Great face, no space.
Great face, no space. So absolutely great play. The mid laner destroyed. Oh my gosh, Power of Evil was remarkable that game. Absolutely crushed his lane, got the turret down, helped get the first blue buff steal. Not the rest of them, but got the first blue buff steal. Snowballed the lead even farther. And then his engages were great. He found so many picks with the QE combos. It was awesome.
Yeah, his Syndra's really good. Round of 10, round of 20, pretty much similar performance there across the board for him. Just impeccable Syndra. But as soon as he wins the lane, he pushes forward. They abused him a little bit because he did that, but then he wrestled it back and he said, I don't have to go that far up. I can just keep bullying the Nidalee from here and then continue to take blues, set up my team, and then they got all the outer turrets. They warded deep. And the fact that they rotated their wards from left to right after they had an answer for it, they're like, ha, we backed, got all our sight stones back up. Now we're going to award the right side, where you wasted them all on the left.
It's true. That was so awesome.
Fantastic.
That was absolutely great. And like, Kappa team fought so hard to get that ward control back, and they ignored it for 3 minutes. Yeah. That was definitely a pretty exceptional play right there. Unicorns of Love, I like their play. They seem really strong. Individually, they were good. As a team, they seem to make kind of the right choices there. I think they have a good chance to go pretty far there. Of course, we're going to have the round of 8. That'll be in about 2 weeks. After week 2 of the LCS, Super Week 1 won't have Challenger that day, which is next week, by the way. That's going to be fun, and we're going to see more of these guys. So that's it for the Summer 2014 European Challenger Series round of 10 play-in, but the round of 8 begins in 2 weeks, and that's when we start playing best of 3s. It's going to be an important one. Alex Itch's new team, Ninjas in Pajamas, will take on Unicorns of Love in the first quarterfinal games on May 29th. And 2 of today's winners will avoid the top seeds for another round when Chantal Machtwau goes up against Gamers 2.
And the quarterfinals continue on June 5th when Denial Esports plays Loveland Shore in a best-of-3 matchup. And then on June 6th, Cloud9 Eclipse takes on SK Gaming Prime.
Going to be a lot of wonderful games there to look for. And there's more Challenger action coming your way this Sunday at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime or noon Pacific Daylight Time. That's when we'll bring you our dangerous 5 one-game elimination matches to the States. We're going to find out who's knocking on the door to the LCS next. And now with that, we've reached the end of our time together today. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zyrene, the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night, GG, and as always, you look good.